From long COVID to Busso Ironman, episode number 8. I am your host, Beau Jones, and we are coming to you today live, not from the studio, but from my dad's farm up here in Maitland. I did promise on Instagram that this episode will be done post Long Ride this Saturday, and here I am. I've had time to come home, have a shower, and I've finished my ride. So yeah, let's rip straight into what has been a week that has been an absolutely amazing week, and the momentum is continuing to grow. I know in the last episode I finished on a bit of a high and a bit of a look down the camera and giving you guys a spray of how much you need to get up and get after it. And this week I've been forced to ask myself, I know I want it, and this week's been a big look into exactly how much I want it. We've picked up friend of the show, friend of Bottle.It, Clint Rollins from RPG Coaching. I've been pushing RPG coaching for a long time now, and the amazing work that all their coaches do. And Clint Rollins has been somewhat of a mentor. He's basically guided the last, 12 months, 6 months of my triathlon journey, to the point where I harassed him weekly, asking him questions. But I've never at any stage been on a program or a plan by Clint. It's literally just been me ringing him, asking dumb questions, and just letting him know roughly what I'm doing for what results. Whereas this week, I finally asked. I reached out and said, "Hey mate, I need a plan. I'm putting the hours in. I just don't know what I need to do." And hopefully later before we race Busso, or even maybe at Busso, I'll give some insight into the conversation that went down between me and Clint. But as expected, it was pretty unreal. Clint once again delivered on things that only Clint can deliver on. Not only is he one of the friendliest blokes in the world, but he has this unique ability to light a fire in people, and I look forward to sharing the fire that he lit. But he did share a plan with me, and the training volume has gone through a roof. He does love a 2-a-day session, and it's one of those things that I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let myself down. I've put my hand up that I want to do I want to have a great honest race, and to have a great honest race, you've got to put the work in. And I knew the work needed to go in. I was putting work in, but I wasn't exactly. It's a bit different now. There's a bit of a plan behind it, and there's a reason for everything, and there's structure. I've never had structure with my training. It's just been something that I've just been kind of making up as I go. So it has been an eye-opening week, and I've learnt more. Once again, I've learnt more this week than I think I have in the last couple of years, just thanks to him. So it has been a curveball into planning. I was quite easily planning around minimal exercise. Now this is, it's got us right on the edge of Ali right on the edge of her tolerance in regards to training. So we have had to come back to planning, and we kind of we hit a curveball with like 2 days in, where I thought there was going to be a little bit of a one of those moments where I thought there's going to be some give and take, and I was going to have to give up training. But much to Ali's credit, when she started the conversation, she's like, "If this is going to be the way it's going to be, I need you." And I was like, whoa, it's 2 months, it's just 2 months. And she goes, "No, listen, you need to make sure that if you're going to take 2-3 hours out of the house on a day to go training, that when you come home, when you come back in through the door, that you're here, you're a husband, you're a father, and stuff you do around the house still needs to happen. You kind of can't walk in, come jump on your phone and be on social media and look at data. You kind of need to be present when you walk in the door." And that wasn't the line I was expecting, but once again, it just shows how amazingly supportive Ali is in regards to my training and what needs to be done, which is it was a cool little reflection that, I do need to be mindful, even if it means spending an extra 5 minutes in the car or outside the house, updating, my training program, or updating Strava, or, doing a quick social media check, to do that before I walk in the house. That way I can be present when I walk in. So that was some cool flexibility around the plans. Like I said, it has been one of those sessions where it's how bad do you want it this week? It is training on training, so it's training under fatigue. It's the second session a day is when you're under the pump, but it also brings with it a great sense of achievement when you knock over those sessions and you finish that volume. So I've also been really mindful to celebrate at the end of each session that we are only 7 weeks away from Busso Ironman, and I think it's really cool for people to identify, or anyone training to identify, that you'll never get these sessions back. You never have the opportunity to go back and revisit those, or not so much. It's cool to put every ounce of effort in you can, but also enjoy the pool you're swimming in, enjoy the environment, because you don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks or the next 6 months or 6 years. Like, this literally could be the last Ironman prep you do without even knowing it. So I always take a moment once I finish a swim, a ride, or a run to kind of smile to myself and go, yep, that box is ticked. We're one step closer to that start line, and then, you know, one step closer to that finish line. So I've been mindful of doing that. Curveballs. Juki was sick on a Tuesday, so I missed my PM swim session. I literally couldn't find time to do it, and when I got down to the pool to try to squeeze it in, the pool was half empty. So that was the first session I missed, and I was kind of off myself for missing a session. I didn't want to miss any sessions, and I kind of carried that, not anger, but disappointment throughout the week. I planned for this weekend to be an absolutely amazing training weekend. I caught the train up from Sydney to Maitland on Friday lunchtime just so I could be up here. Ali and Duke had soccer on this morning, so I was like, you know what, I'll get up there Friday, I'll do my swim set, I'll do a big bike set. It's all my training's done for the Saturday long training, you know, away from Ali and Duke. So it's a good session, and I planned to have a good session. Get up here, the pool was opened. I walked in after getting there late, had to charge my phone so I could tap and go to pay. The wheels were falling off before I'd even swum. I realised I forgot to bring my swimmers up in the bag that I travelled up with, but that was okay. I had my board shorts in my bag, so it's okay. I can swim in my board shorts. It's not ideal. I've got the pool buoy if needed. I can swim with that, so that'd help. And I jumped in the pool, and swimming in board shorts is absolutely anus. I don't know if you've tried it, but I don't recommend it. I definitely recommend getting a pair of the Bottle.It Budgies. But everything was sore. I've been on a train for 5 hours, like 4 hours, and I was just starting to get into my rhythm, and then I got a tap on the head from the lifeguard saying, actually, mate, the pool closes at 6. Like, we've got a swim club on tonight. You know, I was like, I thought it closed at 8. And he's like, no, sorry, mate, we've got the swim club tonight. So the lanes are closed, both this pool and the 25-metre pool. So that's one of those things that, despite talking to the pool during the day and telling them I was coming for a swim, that I literally got kicked out of a pool. So it is what it is. I threw a small tantrum in my own head. No one else would have known, but I was pretty pissed off that that's the second session that I've missed this week. So I just focused on getting home and setting my bike up for a good ride this morning and getting it done. This morning's long ride was an absolutely amazing long ride. Like, riding up here from Newcastle up towards Karua, Bulladila on the highway, and then riding back, it is unstopped highway riding. There's a shoulder that's great for single file. It's honestly full of landmines every now and then, but it's rolling hills. It's probably as close as you're going to get to a surface to Port Macquarie Ironman, to Bustleton Ironman. Definitely not, surface-wise Bustleton Ironman, but the fact you can ride unstopped for, up to 80 kilometres and then turn around and come back and do the same thing back, it had me really excited. It's one of the training rides I do enjoy, and one that I wish I could do more of. And I was able to ride this morning with Chris Johns, who's another Bottle.It athlete. He's raced the Ironman event for us in the Floral, Port Macquarie this year, and he's offered to volunteer at golf days. He's a genuine great human, and I strongly suggest that you get around him. He's coming to race Bustleton, so we were very excited. It was one of his first long rides. So yeah, we were very excited. We're up at 5:30. I got a flat 10 minutes into being there. I was like, righto, that's the first flat of the day out of the way. And we started riding. Had a 2-hour warm-up and then into 3 10-minute Ironman sessions, and I was absolutely flying. I was able to stay in my TT position, which, given it's a new bike and a new position, was really rewarding. I was really enjoying it. My heart rate was super low, so the training is starting to pay off. So I was grinning from ear to ear. We get to the turnaround point up at the Big Rock, come home, and all of a sudden, flat after flat after flat. The Cervelo has a really hard bracket to take the wheel out of. Instead of dropping up and down, it drops sideways, so you kind of have to, there's a bit of work on the cassette to get it out. And after changing the tyre, despite looking for glass in the tyre, we couldn't find it, and so that resulted in consistent flats what felt like every 2 kilometres. So after the last flat, the cassette actually moved away from the the hub. I'm not sure what's happened. I'm pretty certain I'm boring anybody who's listening about cycling chat, but long of the short of it is, we managed to bush mechanics the cassette back on. To get it fixed, I just had to limp the bike home. I was about 30 kilometres away from home. We thought we'd fixed it. We start riding, 2 kilometres in, another flat. This time when the cassette came out from the hub, it was irreparable. It was out of our pay grade to fix it, and it kind of it definitely didn't ruin the morning, but like it caused us to stop way too many times. But rather than, I'm trying my best at the moment not to focus on the consecutive flats and the fact that I'm going to have to pay a couple hundred to get the hub fixed on my, training wheels on my bike. I'm trying to focus on the fact that in between those flats, I was riding in low heart rate, a good speed, and comfortably in that TT position. So there's definitely a lot in that session that I can take comfort out of to work towards Bustleton. I'm disappointed that that's a few consecutive sessions that they come up on training peaks. So you get green, yellow, red, and now I've got a red and like 3 yellows and 3 greens. So yeah, it hasn't been a great first week of the program. I don't know if Clint watches these. He's in Kona at the moment, fairly busy, but I've tried my best to keep them all green, and it's one of those things that I'm learning that, as well planned as you can be, sometimes life happens, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks I can start to string some good consecutive sessions together, because the results from the previous weeks and the results from just this week of being on the training program are shining through. So it's exciting. Bottle.It, once again, been a busy week on the socials, just drumming up the fact that pre-orders now open. We've got the fractal hats that are going to be here before Bustleton Ironman, so they arrive late November, which is amazing. We've had over 35 orders already. Budgy Smuggler orders are open, which is always cool. So just a little behind the scenes, I shared a post saying that inflation sucks. Budgy Smugglers we make $0 off, but it doesn't matter. They're floral, they're expensive pieces of kit, they're good quality, they'll last you forever. We're not looking to make money on, they're expensive pieces of kit, so they're good value. So they're $0 profit for us, but again, that's cool. The fractal hats do have a $10 markup. So what we do with that $10 markup is, after consecutive orders, we look to have a few at the end of the order number to give to people within the community that are doing amazing things in their communities to keep that floral conversation going alive. So we appreciate the fractal orders, and that is a cool way to pay it forward. The Quarry cycling kit window is also open. There is a slight markup on that we use to pay for kit for future events. Great kit, floral up top, green down bottom, does the job. So I think you've got 24, maybe 48 more hours once this goes live on YouTube to jump over. I'll pop the links to both in the description. But one of the cool things that's happened the last couple of weeks behind the scenes at Bottle.It is we do have a fundraiser coming up at the end of the year, so we've been pretty busy organising that, and the developments behind that are red hot, and we can't wait to share more moving forward. But yeah, I'm going to leave that one short and sweet, under 15 minutes, and just more of a training update, that one, than a mental health update. But yeah, mentally, I'm firing on all cylinders. It's slowly coming back. It's definitely, before this, the fire was lit. There was, the want was there, the desire was there, and now this week has been finding out how much. And there's a real cool curiosity that arises around how far you can go and how deep you can go into that, into your work, get into your work to see basically what you can do and what your response is going to be when the going gets tough. So thank you so much for tuning in once again. The YouTube comments hit hard. They hit me right in the feels. You guys share so much more in the YouTube comments than you do on Instagram, and I just want you guys to know that a lot of those training sessions, and to find time like this to jump on and talk to a camera like it's a mirror is doesn't come easy. But knowing that there's a good solid base of crew that are watching each episode or listening online, yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, the numbers are low, but the numbers are great humans. So if you're listening and watching, thank you so much for supporting and getting around this movement. I can't wait to do everyone proud over at Bustleton. So thanks again. We'll see you in the comments. We'll see you next week as we get ready we do have a cheeky race at Noosa. So we're going to do the Noosa Triathlon for the Kids Foundation. I'll be up there racing that. So yeah, I'll be doing next week from home and then the week after at Noosa, but there's plenty of good stuff to come. And alcohol-free beer. We have our first alcohol episode. I've given up the drink to help lose weight and to help my training program, and it's changed my life. So we do have an exciting announcement about a sponsor on board. So yeah, stick around. There's going to be giveaways and exciting things in the future. So once again, thank you so much.